Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Gamedec, blind. Resurrected and aware of your previous iteration. Fascinating. This wasn't the Haggis from the simulation. He was on the couch in Realium. Yes, I remember. I wanted to say that... Listen, I'll be happy to talk when I have a moment, but I'm here on business, so excuse me. Tell me one thing, Gamedec. What did you feel when you find out everything around you was a game? After all, it used to be a reality. Shock and disbelief. To be honest, I still don't believe it. I think it's calling being in denial. Incredible. We talked a bit about it, how it could be for us, and... Oh, here comes here comes Mr. CEO. Gamedec, allow me to introduce my supervisor, President John Naaba, PhD, CEO of Blue Ace Interactive, the real one, from Realium. Good morning to you, sir. What an encounter. He lowered his glasses and looked me over for a moment. Here's our Gamedec. I've heard about you, and believe me when I say, the pleasure is all mine. You're kidding, right? To you, I'm just an ant that's figured out it has been living in an ant farm. He smiled at me and then looked at Haggis. That is all for now, Mr. Haggis. I will join you in a moment. Of course. Haggis doesn't know he's got a clone in the simulation, nor do some of the other people at this party. Some of them just live in this world. I haven't fired his dimwit in Realium, because there's another one in the simulation, and it's too much of a hassle. Funny, isn't it? Not particularly. You're amused that this poor man's twin is suffering here in this simulation. This entire simulation concept must be amusing. That's horrible. Alright, to the point then. The party is a cover for a key presentation. Potential clients will see what the simulation is capable of. Holding it in Paradise Beach will add some panache. You see, the clients enter here from Realium, and from here they will go deeper to Haggis's villa. I hope you'll behave. Actually, that doesn't matter. Whatever you do is bound to be fascinating. I'm your biggest fan. Jester urged me not to trust you, but his opinion is just the analysis of one AI stuck in the simulation's bubble. I value actions over words. He looked at me thoroughly with his blue spectacles and let his last sentence sink in. Your target is a Diotron, a super couch. It's the only solution to each equation, no matter if you love us or hate us. Don't worry, your tenant can hear us. Just as blocking him, 314 is useless to us trapped in your head. We want him redispersed. You helped us see and finally understand him, but we can't examine him. He thinks that Diotron can give him superpowers. We know this tool will prepare him to be extracted from your head. I hope you will carry out this last act of the mission. Even if you don't trust us, you are still our agent. That's how it is with nasty corporations. He gave me a sad smile. Alright, enough chit-chat. Jester will release the guest in your head. If he's kept deaf and blind for too long, he will become suspicious. So be careful what you say. Let's go. See those couches? Our guests are lying on them. Bigwigs, heads of the private military forces, ad agencies, all kind of entities. Interested in learning human behavioral patterns in all kinds of situations, the nature of their work makes them less eager to ask. How BWI managed to develop such an excellent simulation? They see us as the leaders in the AI market, and they are good with that. Impressing them means they'll buy our service, where we offer them custom scenarios along with our analysis. It's a great opportunity for BWI. So what is this presentation going to be about? The simulation is the first world in gaming history that allows you to enter sensory worlds from Realium. Acceleration lets you check a lot of iterations. We'll discuss this in the casual setting of Paradise Beach. Haggis's villa will be perfect. I hope this dimwit is lying down and looking after our guests. Most have already made it to the beach, and I must join them soon. Let's go. To add some luster, in the eyes of the simulation's residents, that is, we've invited a few local celebrities. Do you recognize Ken Zhu? I listened intently while keeping my eyes on Ken and Eleanor's lips. What were they talking about? Mr. Zhu, how can you stand such excruciating pain? It's amazing, exhilarating to see you. Chief, can I call you that? Boy, you can call me whatever you want. It comes down to breathing, and you'll understand the pain just as information. Once you master it, if you know it that it hurt, you know that it hurts, but it doesn't. Fascinating, and you can convince yourself that pleasure is just information. The man laughed. Chief, that's a dangerous question. I would prefer if I hadn't heard it, because now I might get into trouble. There will be no trouble, I promise. Let's keep moving. You'll be going alone from here. Here's the keycard. It will open the default entrance for you. It's the door over there. I must attend to the guests. I'll be entering Paradise Beach shortly. Do help us with 314. I'm counting on you. Why don't you trust me, Mr. President? It's damn unreasonable. He smiled inscrutably. The pieces on the chessboard have been set up. Anything that happens is meant to happen. Keep in mind that we always have the ultimate option of pulling the plug. Good luck. Join me in the elevator. This way, please. I was going to let the chips fall where they may. The elevator took me several levels down and stopped on an unmarked floor. There was a computer in the room. This well is enormous. Here we are. I didn't believe we would make it. God damn it, something's happening to me. Where are we? Jester said we're in the D-Vault. That must be it. The drawers around us contain rendants with living psyches, the prisoners of the simulation. That's a lot, isn't it? Speak. I'm tired. I just want to end this, one way or another. Even if you have to destroy this whole shitshow, I just want it to end. The simulation is a fucking nightmare. Somebody has to close up the shop. Yeah, I agree. This is, you know, it's like a giant zoo. those are essentially people from their own perspective. They are real, right? And you have this, the people from the actual real world, the corporation, they treat this as a zoo. Like, I feel that's wrong and super creepy. I understand. You don't understand shit. He gave me a bitter smile. But it's hard to be oblivious. Hard not to be oblivious when you're surrounded by nothing but lies. We live inside a prison and we have to break out of it. Do you see the thousands of Rendans? These are people, damn it. Killed, tortured and respawned in more and more fucked up scenarios. And for what? Just to check something? So that some corporate fool could see how a terrorist attack would affect the company's stock. Self-aware psyches trapped in a horrible place, locked in the simulation, killed and reborn. You're right, we have to do something. You bet I'm right. After all, we're the same person. That's actually not impossible. Because he could have been a version of me from, it resets, but he wasn't deleted completely. So that's possible. I didn't suspect this, but I don't think it's impossible. How is this possible? You're joking, right? No, you're my clone, a twin. My tragedy is that the simulation doesn't have double brains. Once my iteration ended, I dispersed across multiple Rendans. My Rendan became host to the iteration 315 and then 16. You. I am iteration 314, the first one to discover I was in a simulation, and the one that had to disperse to survive. But I learned a lot from this. Staying in multiple heads has given me substantial knowledge. The other benefit was that apart from the living people whose Rendans I inhabited, I was invisible. No goddamn jester could see me. So that's why you entered my brain. It's your Rendan too. It fits you like a glove. The problem is it's also my central nervous system. It was mine first. It's my home too, understand? He kept quiet for a moment. Just trust me, alright? Why would I lie to myself? Well, to be fair, people lie to themselves all the time. I'm in your head, remember? Not entirely unpacked. Damn it, something is happening to me.
I am in control.
I'm finally here. A terrorist is one stubborn beast, I'll give him that. Matthew, you mindless robot. I'll tell you what to do. Open your deck. I'll teach you how to turn it off. I can see him with your eyes. I can hear him. Don't listen to him. He's a psychopath. Don't let him take control of you. Don't listen to that prick. Yeah, I definitely feel the simulation should be dismantled, even if it means my death, because obviously I am not real. I'm just, okay, I'm not real. I'm real to me, but what I mean is I am part of the simulation. I don't have an actual physical body. I'm just a digital, consciousness stored on a disk. Even if it means my destruction, I just think there's something obscene about this simulation. 14. Show me how to block Jester. I opened my deck, and my twin shouted instructions from inside my head. I immediately did what he asked. It's still not too late. Remember that. Thanks. Now quickly, let's get to the Diotron before that bastard comes back. I lay down and put on the helmet. The machine turned on, and I felt a strange rush of energy. It definitely wasn't a regular couch. The Diotron is an old, forgotten tool. They replaced it with the Axis Mundi editor. Still, it has all of the necessary functions. Lie down. One of the screens lit up. It was reacting to my thoughts and eye movements. I felt someone thinking inside me without my permission. The data on the screen started to change. 316 appeared next to the red area. I felt very strange, as if I had become a part of a shared ego. I started feeling sick. What did you do? I unpacked. I'm finally at home. At least, most of me is. No time for chit-chat. My thoughts weren't mine anymore. I saw 314 perform some strange operations on the screens, but I didn't understand what I was looking at. I have access to all functions. Now I just need to find those bastards. There, the presentation is really about Paradise Beach. Something at the end of the path caught my attention. I paused. There was nothing interesting, just a regular walkway. Something translucent glimmered in the air. It reminded me of something. Great, let's get this party started. It must be a developer stack. Where's the access point? Everything's flickering. Why do you need it? We both need it. We must cut this location off from the outside access and get permissions. Then we can use the loop, the TNP one, remember? Oh, I found the access point. Can you see the flashing light? I extend my hand and open the stack windows. Shit, the protocols are different than I expected. We must get access codes from someone. Nice plant, tiny hairs on every leaf. Perfect. You could tell it was a special location. I felt bad, like a mismatched piece of a puzzle. I wasn't supposed to be here. Okay, I don't have a choice. I needed to talk to Naaba. Protomachos simulates dozens of scenarios and then it presents the results. It's no better product on the market. There's no better product on the market right now. Really, I need something really good. Interesting. Those were realistic bench chairs rather than the popular anti-gravity ones in the Paradise Beach. Normally the simulation is substantially accelerated. An organic brain wouldn't be able to handle it. What about rendons? Please don't joke. If we were using live psyches, I would be talking from behind bars. Dr. Naaba in prison. Apart from you and the staff, they are only AIs here, I assure you. The CEO of Blue Whales Interactive was talking to the guests, smiling and flashing his navy blue glasses.
Welcome. I was looking forward to this meeting.
He was beaming with an aura of confidence and power. I registered in his peripheral vision, and he tipped his glasses to me. Oh, here you are, Gamedec. You got here quick. See? It's all going according to plan. I hope everything will be alright. Don't mess this up. Don't let him know I've unpacked. I'm ready and vigilant. I need access codes for this location. Otherwise, controlling 314 might be difficult. He looked up as if consulting the admins. Really? If so, it's more serious than I thought. Very well. If you really need them... There. A dialogue window appeared in front of him. I just had to tap the download icon. Is this some kind of a trap? Resist what? Don't fight me. I downloaded the codes. Thank you, I'll get back to... I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Alright, now give me a moment. I extended my hand and opened those stack windows. He entered the acquired codes and confirmed the operation. I felt a strange rush of energy. Okay, that should do it. We'll trap them in loops. Then those BWS bastards will have to negotiate with us. Let's go. I'm a little busy.
Talk to me.
Okay, I don't have a choice. I have to do something. So I guess out of those two, I would much rather just dismantle this all, like destroy it, you know, crumble it beyond recognition, or make them actually pull the plug on it. I discreetly opened the deck window, only I could see. The president directed his guests' attention to the pool. Look now, in a moment you'll see a shark there. Just like the real thing. I pretended to fix my hair, and I targeted Naaba. He was in my sights. I looked at the icon of the loop, an exploit from TNP. So lifelike, right? Now to give the command and voila, we've got ourselves some real drama. My god, amazing. If everything in this damn simulation ran on one engine, it should work here too. I gave the mental command to start the program. Looks brilliant, doesn't it? Now wait for it. I waited for an eternity for this. Mr. CEO in a loop. Shit yourself, fucker. Focus. You're going straight to Nanette. No dawdling. Got it? Oh wait, so she's... Wait, she's from BWI? I thought that's a separate entity. Sure. Are you seeing this? Now that's one heck of a product. Have we been talking to an NPC? Is he kidding? It was him. Something's going on here. I don't like this. There's nothing more enriching than running a foundation. Do you hear yourself? I mean spiritually enriching, of course. Please don't joke. We had a magnificent result. In both the clinic and the Nanette's garden program. I struggled to believe that Nanette was really on the couch in Realium, probably at BWI's headquarters, and only her swanky avatar was here. She was entertaining guests with the tale of her foundation, her successful foundation. As I approached, she spared me a glance. Of course, she didn't recognize me. I wonder if she was aware of having a clone here. My larynx and tongue felt as if they were made of stone. My face had become a mask. I couldn't move any of its muscles. I witnessed my hands opening the deck and choosing the program, aiming it at Nanette. Excuse me, are you feeling okay? My finger clicked the icon to start the program. Alright, never mind. She looked at the chatting people. Getting back to what I was saying a moment ago, now she'll keep repeating this sentence over and over again. Now it's Haggis's turn. He's here too, further down, behind the house. No sightseeing. Can you stop controlling my body? It's my body too, and I can't. I don't think I have... Oh. Yeah, literally I'm not doing anything. He's just walking on his own. You can't flirt or make small talk, right? A woman just like you seduced my son, strung him up with sweet talk, and then accused him of assault. Be professional, understand? Yes.
Don't worry, I will do my job.
What fucking times and fucking problems? Credibility, fucking credibility. Where do you find it? He shot me an evil look. Oh, it's you. Stay frosty, am I right? My lips remained shut. I couldn't say anything. Instead, my hands opened a window that only I could see and proceeded to give the commands. What happened to your face? What the fuck are you doing? In case you're messing... I can see you're messing with some kind of a window. My fingers tapped on the sides. A digital aura enveloped him. Buddy, whatever you're doing, stop it. Screw it. His movements told me that he had opened a window of his own and was giving commands. My finger hovered over the icon to start the loop. He opened his eyes wide. He had figured what was going on. You motherfucker. He packs a punch. My finger landed on the icon to start the loop all by itself. And he'll be punching... all he'll be punching now is air, sucker. We have ourselves a trinity. 3 arguments, 3 leverages, 3 hooks. Let's go. Are you sure you know what you're doing? It's my first time doing it. Oh god, did you see what happened to him? But how? Is it not Director Haggis? It's an NPC, shithead. He turned my head upwards and started looking around. I know you're watching us, shitheads. You saw what I did to those people in the mess. Show yourselves, or I will put those fuckers down. I looked at the empty sky. There was nothing up there. What's your plan? What do you want to do? The only thing I can do, start killing those we had locked in the loops. Hear me? I'll make those loops go faster, and your buddies' heads will burn like light bulbs. They don't have rendons. Organic brains can take it. You know that, don't you? Who are you talking to? There's no one up there. Them, the admins, the Magnificent 3, the Steadfast 6. I'm not sure, but as you can see, they are afraid to react. To be honest, I am not okay with that. I wasn't... I didn't really want to kill anyone. But to be honest, to be fair, okay, on the other side of the argument, they have like, you know, millions of people's minds enslaved in a simulation. Like, that's a level of fucked upness that's even difficult to sort of comprehend. I warned you. What do you call the upper hand in negotiations? Batna, right? I'll show you my fucking Batna and I will fry your CEO's brain. I saw my hand open an unfamiliar window. It looked like a time control panel in a simulation. At the moment, temporal flows were set to a natural pace. That made sense. The BWI invited guests from Realium, so the simulation couldn't be accelerated. But the slider could be set to 20 times the normal speed. My finger touched the locked in the loop icon and a new window opened. It also had a time slider, but it was only meant for them 3. I saw myself set the time to a 10-fold acceleration. See that? I just accelerated your bodies 10 times. How long do you think their brains can go on? Are they sizzling already? Stop it. We understand your threat. We're open to negotiation. Fucking cowards, hiding behind the jester avatar. Only Naaba and Haggis had enough guts to show their real faces? Tell me what you want. What are your demands? Thousands of thoughts running through my mind. Yeah, just end it. I want you to set us free. I want you to end this. I want to get things to get back to normal. That's pretty vague. Let's talk about this. Let's settle the conditions. He looked at another jester uneasily. The other looked back and glanced at the other one. They looked on at the one who spoke first. They must have been talking on some communication channel I couldn't hear. Discreetly, I opened a window only I could see. And I looked at their voice chats. After searching, I thought I had found it. I joined it. The entity is hooked to the central resources, to the trunk. Fuck, I can't remove it. It would damage the simulation. It's also hooked to the accelerated ones. If I detonate it, the 3 in the loop will accelerate to the point of frying their brains. Fuck me. Try talking to it, I need time. A Rendan's hooked up to the kill switches, but that thing is stronger and throwing its weight around. There's still 2 personalities in one brain. You can see the split. We need to separate them. We just have to see who's who and sack out the intruder. Let me unlink those things. If they lose their connection, 314 will have no support in the digital avatar and will become helpless. And finally, we'll be able to stop it to take a good look at it. I'm not interrupting, am I? Fuck, it entered our channel. Relax, Andrew. It's not 314, not the intruder, it's an original. Okay, easy now. Listen, original. Here's the deal. Get your visitor and tell him to take complete control over you. Understand? Complete control. I can then isolate him and sack him out of your Rendan. If you want that, right? Because he's unpacked now. Let's say it works out. What's in it for me? A better negotiation position when we win, idiot. And we will win. That's obvious. You've made a mess, so you have to face the consequences. I suggest you get started. If Andrew gets through the safeguards first and finds a way to kill the switches, our deal is off. No, I don't want to deal with you, you're psychopaths. I would rather this whole thing is destroyed, so even though the 314 is sort of taking over my body, it's also kind of his body from the previous iterations. I actually at least agree with his goals, and I don't even agree with your goals, let alone your methods. How about I take control of you, huh? You anonymous prick. Right. Wasting time talking to entities. Screw you, program. It had been quiet for much too long. I opened a window of processes in the instance. They were trying to isolate 314 in my rendon. Listen, they are holding up the decision. Why? They want to split us up. They want to isolate me and take the rendon from you. Bastards. Naaba, prepare to die. It wasn't just the looks. It seems as if they were using some sort of communication we couldn't hear. I was right. The one I watched made a face as he objected. His companion's eyes widened as if trying to persuade him. Wait, but they wanted him to take control of me, so how would me doing that help me? I will just wait. They were probably discussing what they could offer us and what wasn't possible. It was taking time, huge responsibility. They were screwed. The world around me started to vibrate. Something very bad was happening. Yeah, the Jester isn't even... The Jester's an AI, right? I think I'll delete him and see, maybe that will crumble the simulation. Is it okay if I call you that? Can you delete that fool? Affirmative. Which one? This program. It's difficult to tell them apart, but it doesn't matter. My hands opened a window and issued a command, adjusted some parameters and... deleting the Jester program from this instance. Process completed successfully. Fuck, someone deleted Jester just now. Something's wrong. The worlds are overlapping, but why? Until now, there was one psyche per rendon. This was the first time there were two, and now they split. Fuck, Andrew, you screwed it up. No, fuck, that's not it. Maybe... I told you the Deotron was a bad idea. This junk caused all this. Everything is overlapping and going towards... Oh fuck, happy hunting grounds. Andrew, why the fuck have you even... Why the fuck are you even in... Are you even in this world? Alright, shut up. It's the fucking kill switch. I couldn't separate 314 from the stem. I'm reverting. I'm rolling everything back to its previous iteration. No, Andrew. Any signs? Any fucking signs? I'll give you a sign. A sigil to the face.
You again? Can you explain what's going on?
I died, I remember that. The Jester killed me in the Tree of Knowing. Don't ask how, but I was dying on a low city walkway. Blinked, and then I saw a fucker from Knight's Code above me. Right here. I had to kill him, or he would have killed me. Do you know what's going on? Do you remember being inside the Tree of Knowing? That shit generates sensory worlds and realium. We're inside a simulation. Now everything's overlapping, colliding, and I think it's partially my fault. Are you serious? God, Chief, you're absolutely amazing. If the sky is the limit, then go there. Oh wow. I'm not sure he understands. What do we do, Chief? This place is a slaughterhouse. It's not safe. I don't know. I feel that the only reasonable thing is to go and look for the Tree of Knowing. If there's a way out of here, it's there. Of course, we'll go together. That goes without saying, Chief. I'll follow you anywhere.
what's going on?
One moment I'm in TNP with my husband, then there was a bang, and we've appeared here. It's a bloodbath. Logging out isn't an option. The code tells me we must hurry because everything is going to shit, and it's going to breach the barrier north of here. But I need your help because I can't exactly clone myself. How can I help? Find Bob. He's looking for our son. Barnaby was playing Knight's Code, but everything seems to overlap in here, including that game. If you can find Barnaby, or better both of them, that would be amazing. Where did Bob go? He saw those fucked up samurai when they were chasing me, right? Nice move with the shark there. You're not surprised that a shark appeared here? Never mind. Bob ran in the direction they came from, west of here, behind that reptile's face. My scans are showing bits of Knight's Code there, and behind this fucking barrier, but yeah, it needs to be breached first. I knew it. You didn't believe it, but I knew it. Lizard people are destroying our reality. It was all a simulation.
Spare me, please.
Get a hold of yourself, son. Don't kill me. I can't. Stop whining and just do it. All this droning and moaning is making me want to slit my own throat. Where's that fucking fool? He's gone. He wanted a massacre, enough to blackmail me, and threatened to hurt Fredo. Here's his massacre. Don't get rid of me. Your turn will come, and I don't really understand. You don't fucking have to. Do what you love. Where are we even? Has someone bothered to ask that question? Is this hell?
There is no prophecy, only the truth.
Alright, Eagle, you wanted an initiation? Here's your initiation. Kill him or die. The woman looked up and noticed me. Hold off on whatever it is you're about to do and listen. We can recruit her. It's good to have a clan member on your side. It's the Gamedec, that maggot. Kill him, Eagle. The man pointed his sword in my direction. Die. Hold on a minute. You don't know what I want. Well, everyone is dead, so...
It's you. Speak. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's dead. Although it's a bit unclear right now to me. Because it's kind of, you know, it's like in this is Happy Hunting Grounds mostly, and even where the supposed reality, you know, when you die in perfectly simulated sort of virtual death, your actual organic body, or in this case your brain, would also die because it would think it has to. That's how it works. Bobby's dead, at least here. That's horrible. Leave me alone. I have to think. Lord, I need to get inside the tree. Let me through.
We can't let you in. This is a sacred place.
The creator will join the fruit, the branch and the trunk. The world is crumbling. Only the tree can restore it. It can't be disturbed. I shouldn't have to be talking to the minds of these idiots. They screwed everything up. We don't have time. Can you shoot him? A tree is sacred, but you're wrong about it cannot be disturbed. If we were to gain anything, we need to be as close as possible. That's nonsense. If that were the case, we would hear signals, not dead silence. There are no signs, so we have to stand here and guard it. Enough of this chit-chat. Send in the drones. The sound of the engines pierced the air. Armed flying robots were approaching. I wondered where he got them from. I opened the system windows and quickly disabled the drone and quickly found the drone's path. One command was all it took. Okay, let's calm down and talk. The son of a bitch was stalling. I knew that he was. I knew that he was up to something and stayed alert. Finally, kill them all. I predicted that he was waiting for the cavalry and noticed them before they arrived. They gave me time to prepare. Stay calm, no aggression. You think that previous acts were important, they just enabled my people to put up barriers. Oh, I don't have much of a choice, seemingly. I'm really tired of this. I drew my gun, aimed at him and pulled the trigger. Lord, give it to me straight. What's in it for you? Why are you doing this? The Force wills it. It is the only thing left. My honor demands that I defend the tree. Can't you see? We were right. They laughed at us, our commitment, our clan. And now you see for yourself. There's nothing more important than the tree. It truly is the axis of the world. Axis Mundi. Now I don't think this will convince him on the spot. I am the 16th incarnation of 314. He called to me, understand? I am him, and he is me. Respect me and yield. This is blasphemy. Do you have any proof? My proof is ahead of me, not behind. I walk the path others lack the courage to enter. Can't you see? You defend the tree. I walk towards it. Something is telling me to listen to you. Go. It's not something, it's me. You're welcome. You're here. Let's agree on some things. Do you know why you're still alive? I think it's mostly because they mentioned something about how my Rendan or whatever, I'm somehow linked to the core of the simulation. If they killed me, it would have damaged it. 314 tied my existence to the part of the simulation, right? If you kill me, won't your Promachos be damaged? You reached him. We know his structure. That was the main purpose of your existence. You're alive because your Rendan is linked to the stem, the simulation's core. The link was likely made in the Deuteron, that damn old couch. We didn't know it had that function. Perhaps Haggis put it in there. He figured that we wanted to put this clone in the simulation, and this was his safety net. It's hard to say. Maybe he shared the existence of this tool with 314 before we took it away from his memory. Anyway, your link to the stem is the main reason you're alive. Your death would damage the simulation, possibly including its living actors. How many people have you imprisoned here? Living ones. You don't expect me to answer that, do you? I saw your default. It has thousands of Rendans, maybe more. You saw the default representation in the simulation. Hardly useful knowledge. Yeah, you know what? That's actually probably correct. The real default being bigger makes things much worse for you. Good point. That may be a dumb question, but can't you just end it all? Release people from the simulation? That is a dumb question. Thousands of Rendans, many with clones of influential people, and they are suddenly told their world is fake. We release them into mob rooms paid for by someone. They would all need apartments, as Realium doesn't support ethereal existence. And they all keep quiet about where they've been, that they've been reset, that BWI imprisoned them in Promachos. They keep quiet because we asked them nicely. They all find jobs, and no employers find out. They don't have inns. But they appeared out of nowhere. Do you see how ridiculous it all sounds? Yeah, I agree. That's why my best case scenario is that we all get killed. You know, permanently erased, just to end this nightmare. What is the point of all this? What's the simulation for? That's a good question. The simulation is Promachos, the probability machine operating system, a system based on probabilities. Blue Whales Interactive is not a big company. Creating the Pygmalion technology was its biggest success, but also the biggest problem. We're the only ones capable of creating a living psyche, a diginet. That puts the company in the competition's crosshairs. Freck Heavy Industries, 11 Bits, Interscope Corporation, all wanting to scoop us up. They mean to take us over, steal our tech, discredit us. It's war. BWI stands no chance in an agent war against these behemoths. That's why our genius, Dr. Naaba, came up with Promachos. It allows us to anticipate thousands of scenarios that could jeopardize our company's existence. In order to protect BWI from a hostile takeover, you've imprisoned thousands of living psyches in the simulation. Why, no. The Promachos proved invaluable in other areas as well. It accelerated our work on artificial intelligence. It extended our knowledge of human psychology and social behaviors, and finally, it became a commodity sold to a select clientele. Why sell pieces of the simulation? Why share it? For profit, of course, to observe how our clients interact with the simulation, to probe for their weaknesses. Those who buy the simulation access it for a specific goal, to solve their problems. Knowing what those are is our weapon. All that you've been saying about the simulation points to a big project meant to protect BWI. What was the purpose of my scenarios? The first part was the overall objectives of Promachos. It was to check if Haggis was the company's weakest link, given his family issues. Would he break under blackmail? Would he reveal trade secrets? The second one, in Harvest Time, was developed for our client, Miss Nanette Doucet. Its goal was to play out scenarios in which Nanette's foundation ceases to generate immense profits. We established a story to put the fear in the client and get her to buy our product. We took this opportunity to see how well Rendans tolerate acceleration. The simulation is inherently accelerated, you know. Children were accelerated even more. It turns out that the Rendans made with Interscope Corporation are surprisingly resilient. The next part, your chase after you took yourself to Lower Warsaw City, where we put Crystal Dust Mercenaries, a potential customer's company. That was also where we tested a scenario that explored the dependence on virtual sects among cities' inhabitants. Knight's Code is our product. A clan run by Galomar, also known as Lord, operates in Realium. We wanted to see if his religion could hurt the game. That's all you saw. Naturally, the simulation has plenty more series that showcase more momentous events and games with higher stakes. Your path was interesting for inclusion of Haggis, whom your previous iteration had contacted or discovered the simulation on its own. We decided to check if it would happen again. Can a Promachos actor discover the truth about their world? And how come 314 disappeared? It turned out it didn't disappear, it just dispersed. Brilliant. I doubt it was his idea. We'll look into it. How many people watch over the Promachos? How do they feel about it? What do they think of it? You're probably wondering how many people know about it. Not many. What do they think? It differs, but they won't share the secret. See, every person has something they love, lost, or are afraid of. The board knows the answer to the last question for everyone in the know. It knows how to keep things under control. Trust me. For how long have you been conducting this experiment? This question didn't need to be asked. Why are you hiding your face behind the jester's character? Are you a coward? First, I don't want you to know what I look like. Secondly, it's how we always do things. The simulation's accelerated basically all the time. The jester's avatar accumulates over slow speech and neatly processes it. And naturally, right now we're not accelerating anything. But that's our ironclad rule. Simulation actors don't see the admins. The one exception is Dr. Naaba, but he's a genius, and our CEO. Then there's Haggis, the clone that is, but he's here as punishment. The real Haggis doesn't care anyway, so that's his business. It was always about 314, wasn't it? What are you going to do with him? A big part of him is in your head, but a lot of the elements are in the cloud. We'll be examining and analyzing those. A fascinating entity, a psyche with no brain, no Rendan residing somewhere. Discovering how it is possible might be the biggest scientific breakthrough since Matrix theory. Don't worry about his existence. We'll make sure it's a long and happy one. The Promachos of yours is... well, it's mostly... It's mostly a prison, and also super fucked up. Like, by the case for a prosecutor, Are you implying? Is that implying? It's super illegal and wrong? Because I agree on that point. But on that point, I think it's much more than a prison, because the people don't even know they're imprisoned. A case for a prosecutor, a criminal case. You've held thousands of people illegally, resetting them. I wonder what a lawyer would say. But I wouldn't be surprised if they called it a unique kind of genocide. You all belong behind bars. Are you aware that pharmaceutical companies release viruses and bacteria that they have medicine for? They do it to make a profit. I've heard of Gamedecs who are hackers. They create problems, then miraculously fix them. Companies make goods that break, pollute Earth. We're all part of the crime drama, dear Gamedec. Some are white-collar criminals, others thugs. But those of us who aren't criminals won't make it. There's a war raging, my naive friend. So, where are we at? What's your goal? You must have a plan. More like we have a plan. We expected you to have around 6 ideas about where to take your existence. Each of us will discuss one of them with you and consider its feasibility. Understand? You can only discuss one option with each of us. Let's say I'm number 1. And here's the number 1 option. You replace the jester. In a sense, you become the god of Promachos. Before I ask if you're even interested, I'll check to see if you'd be the right fit for the role. He opened a few windows and proceeded to study them. Your achievements in this iteration were reasonable. You would be good for the role. What does replacing the jester mean? He's an AI. He thinks 1,000,000 times faster than me. The simulation complexity is certainly beyond. An AI is necessary to supervise the processes. However, we concluded that the jester made some errors. It's only a bot after all. In Realium, we can keep track of only a fraction of events across different parts of the simulation. Everything happens too fast in there. We received the jester's reports. We analyzed the decisions from the most recent iterations of your Promachos segment and concluded that he needs a human overseer. None of us agreed to be imprisoned in the simulation, and Haggis failed us some time ago. You are there. You get everything you want: riches, love, fame, superpowers, everything you can dream of, and immortality, as well as invulnerability to resets. To keep you from getting bored of the recurring Groundhog Days of the sorts, you would be allowed to change scenarios and locations. You would be tasked with making sure the scenario modifications and actions of the future jesters have the human touch rather than a mechanical one. You'd influence the world around you like a god. We would look after your Rendan. You would have many adventures. That's the elevator pitch. No? This is like a gilded cage, but it's still a cage. And call me number 2. According to our estimates, you'd certainly be interested. It's putting a stop to simulation resets. It's only logical. A human being who discovered they've been living in an artificial world, or where everyone starts fresh from time to time, unable to remember their previous selves, would want to put a stop to it. Hold off deciding if you're interested. First, I'll make sure we like the solution. Let me check your achievements. He kept quiet for a moment. Everything indicates it could be done. You didn't kill anyone, so it's reasonable to assume you won't turn the simulation into the new happy hunting grounds. Stopping the resets sounds reasonable. People would be able to carry out their plans, finish what they started, and live real lives. However, you have to be aware that if somebody dies because of, let's say, an accident, or an unfortunate coincidence, or a murder, they won't be resurrected. Resets made reincarnation possible. People ended their previous lives, but they started new ones. Stopping resets will force the simulation onto Realium's natural path. We will also be unable to interfere with many things, like wealth. If someone can't afford a BLB, they will die of old age. If someone becomes gravely ill and can't afford treatment, they will die as well. And they will never be reborn again. As you can see it, there's a price to stopping resets. As I see it, the simulation's purpose was to iterate on scenarios and check possible endings and solutions to look for threats. If the resets cease, you will no longer be able to compare how events played in relation to any altered original conditions. Won't the simulation become pointless? What you're describing was one of the goals of the Promachos. We'll still be able to run psychological and sociological tests to improve the AI. The main mechanic will change, but the game will still be there. Can the Promachos servers manage without the resets? Variables will pile up at breakneck speed. BWI has substantial computational resources. We have been servicing few persistent MMO games for many years. If someone left a bottle in the sand 5 years ago in Paradise Beach, it's either still there, or it was picked up by a drone and processed. In our games, nothing magically disappears. Number 3. We think you might be interested in a radical solution, namely turning off the simulation. You know, close shop, put the whole labor camp out of commission. Before you say you're interested, let me see if you have enough negotiating power. Our analysis shows that we would only be willing to discuss this topic with you if you murdered our CEO. Oh. So it seems I should have, because that was actually my goal. I think that's the best solution. Without him, the operation would become problematic, as he's legally responsible for our undertaking, but with him alive, we're covered. This will sound strange, but seeing as you didn't kill him, the option of turning off the simulation is out. Dr. Naaba will never allow it. That's a pity, because that's kind of what I wanted. I'm the keeper of the fourth gate. Funny name, huh? I represent the option of escape. You could be free outside the simulation. In actual Realium, but before you start jumping for joy, let me check if that is even possible. Certain conditions have to be met. I'm sorry, we don't have any dirt on you, which makes it impossible for us to set you free. If you have committed a murder in the simulation, kid the bodyguards, or God forbid the CEO or Haggis, you could be set free because we would have a guarantee that if you talked, we would destroy your credibility by sharing the recordings of those acts. But you're clean as a whistle. People like that can't be controlled. I'm standing at the gate number 5. The exit symbolizes a very strange although interesting solution, namely dispersing in the cloud. Just like 314 dispersed over multiple rendowns, becoming possibly the most fascinating phenomenon in our reality, you have the opportunity to follow in his footsteps, disperse your psyche, become a ghost whose existence is solely psychological. Before you decide if you're interested, let me check one thing. I'm afraid it's out of the question. You didn't give us 314. He's still in your head, and is nesting there more and more. If we dispersed such a psyche, it would create a multiple personality, split personality. 314 already had inclinations. Every human has potentially multiple personalities as if a flicker in them, but what? Every human being has potentially multiple personalities that as if flicker in them, but don't split. Having a freshly nested personality in you carries a different set of experience and memories. and you'd be very, very vulnerable to a breakup. I'm sorry, this is not an option. This is gate 6, very modest and attractive in a way, and therapeutical. Our analysis show that you might just want to go back to the beginning, in the simulation, no memories, to relive part of your life. And then again and again, you could just be the Promachos' living actor. To walk that path, you don't have to meet any requirements. You don't have to achieve anything, make any effort. It's the path of a common man. No pretense or nor striving for heroism. Just an ordinary life in an extraordinary world. Would you be interested? How would it be? I fall asleep and wake up with no memories in my apartment. With memories, but different ones. You'd be a different man because you would have a different emotional baggage, but yourself would still be the same. I can guarantee you will have a colorful life, and you will reincarnate many times. You can look at it in two ways. Either you will die many times, or quite the opposite. Death doesn't exist. Why it doesn't exist? Isn't that what reincarnation-based religions are all about? That the soul lingers in the other world and moves from one body to another? If so, then we never die, and we can't remember the previous incarnations, so the soul can learn and mature. You see, we shouldn't remember the previous incarnations nor the world beyond reality, because then we wouldn't learn anything. Being omniscient precludes science, so the ordinary simulation inhabitant option seems rather attractive. No one in the history of mankind had a chance to make that sort of experiment. Perhaps we'll get to see some real maturing of souls. No. To be honest, all of those options suck. The only option that I really wanted was to close it, but I can't. So out of those, I am going to stop the resets, because at the very least, it makes it less of a zoo. You know, they can still observe us, I guess, and derive some kind of data out of it. But at least it's no longer a game, like, you know, it's not a game in the sense that they have modifiable variables. And like he said, basically, if I do this, it's going to be a perfect recreation of reality. People will die and suffer and be lucky or unlucky, and some will be poor and some will be wealthy. So from our perspective, it's going to be like regular reality. Only it won't be, because it's still a simulation made by them. But out of the choices that I have, I will choose this. I chose this solution. Stop resetting the simulation. Let this place be more like the real world. If that is your wish, you do know you'll be sentencing those people to one life, one determined by harsh conditions, like in Realium. The suffering will be similar to those in Realium. When they find themselves in hopeless predicament, there will be no reset to save them. Do you really think the simulation imitating Realium is better than how things have been so far? Yes, because reality is better because it's real, so how close we can get to it is, I guess, how good it can be. I do. Give people a chance to carry out their plans, to see the consequences of their actions. Let them face their mistakes. Let them live. Is real life truly better than a game? Life without resets, without death, continuous existence, even if it is nasty and painful, it'll be real. Do you understand that, fool? I live in Realium, and believe me, I would like to one day wake up to a life in Promachos, to a life where Promachos doesn't exist. I feel for you, I really do. Actually, I don't. You're all psychopaths.
Chief, listen. You ever wish...
Yo, everybody look! It's Kenzu!
Man, I'm a huge fan. Can I get an autograph on my sleeve?
Sure thing, kiddo.
I don't know what to say. Thank you. Drinks are on me.
Wow, dude. Can you believe that? The actual Kanzu!
So, what was it you wanted to ask me?
Oh, I was just wondering, you ever wish you could turn back time, Chief?
More than I care to admit. Why?
It's just that, I mean, look at them. They adore me. The old me. Soon they'll forget. I'm done as a player. Had a career. Could have been truly famous, you know? Wish I could go back and try again.
Oh, believe me. You wouldn't want to be stuck in a loop of starting over. You could still earn your fame, you know. As a Gamedec solving cases.
Kenzu, famous Gamedec. I gotta say, it does have a nice ring to it.
Gamedec, finally. Listen, I have a delicate matter. A case.
Speaking of, what is it?
I can't discuss the details here. Meet me in DMV. I'll make it worth your while, I promise.
Time to work for that fame of yours, Ken. Want to join me?
Hell yeah, Chief. But first, let me have that drink.
You managed to pull Starlet out of digital limbo, met a Diginet named Eleanor trapped in Haggis's computer. The trolls became your allies, not the clan members. You figured out the strange generator and watched the troll parade. You avoided the jester's trap by entering the theater through the side door. Fredo got out of trouble without any detriment. You decorated your farm with purchased vanity items. Bob Zappa helped you while with your investigation in return. You defeated Ken in a duel of Gamedecs. You discovered the real identities of all of the suspects in the case. You became neither the sheriff of the High Rock nor the deputy. You and Ken hunted down Kid in his hideout. You decided to keep your relationship with Ken purely professional. You learned of several hypotheses about Kenzu's death and find out how he died. You didn't perform a psychoscan yourself, instead you received it from a mysterious insurance agent. You joined the Sleeves while looking for the clues inside Yeti's bar. You found the person who shot at Ken and rescued most of the hostages. You didn't find out who it was really behind Ken's murder. You work independently in the clan, not allowing the masters to order you around. You didn't search the clan's stronghold. You made contact with a being inside the Tree of Knowing using a meditation bowl. You managed to avoid the sadistic prison of Mistress Umbra. You entered the mystical Tree of Knowing accompanied by Master of Laughter. You found the memories of the Cycle 314 game deck. You decided not to work with the Jester. You didn't acquire the source code from the Axis Mundi guard. You refused the Jester's offer and escaped from Axis Mundi. You decided to work with 314, not the Jester. You mounted an assault with less than 6 people. You chose one of the paths offered by the Jester. Okay, so that was Gamedec. I am really tired because it's really late. I just wanted to wrap it up because I am rather busy as of late at work, and currently it's almost Easter, so I have a bit of free time, and I wanted to wrap up the game just to be done with it, because sometimes when I play like a narrative game and I have a long pause, I forget what I was doing. Like, I forget what was happening in the game, so I just wanted to wrap it up. I will probably write like a longer review. It will be in the pinned comment underneath this video once I rest a little. But for now, in short, I have mixed feelings about this game. There were some things I liked, for example, the deduction mechanic itself, I think it's interesting and kind of cool for this type of game. It let you make mistakes, and it wasn't always super obvious what was happening. So I liked that. Overall, the sort of idea, which I guess is more owing to the book, because it's based on the book, but the idea for the game is kind of cool with the different sensory worlds, and they all have their own sort of atmosphere and different styles, and some of the cases were pretty unique because they showcased scenarios that can only exist in this type of a story. For example, people being forced into farming loot boxes for money and all that. So the story was okay, but what dragged the game really down, in my opinion, is that the writing itself was mediocre to bad. There were parts of it that were actually painful for me to read. When certain NPCs talked sort of in a loop, they repeated the same information, and certain sentences were written in this stilted, very wooden and sort of annoying way. I still remember from the very beginning this prophecy of a bad troll that will come. Come on. There were some fragments of it where it was really written in a way that was unpleasant to read. I think, I'm not sure if it's a matter of translation, because obviously this game originally, I assume, was in Polish. It's made by Polish developers. So maybe it's a case of translation, but definitely this game needed more editing in the writing department. The story itself wasn't bad, but it was presented in a way that wasn't very attractive. And I could understand a lot of people being put off by it, because when you read it, it sounds kind of cringe at times. It's very sort of difficult to get into and get immersed, because the characters didn't really talk like living people, which I guess maybe it was a plot point, because obviously the entirety of it wasn't quote-unquote real life, it was a game. But, I don't entirely buy it. I am a bit salty. I didn't manage to get the end the simulation ending, because that's what I really wanted, but I guess that required murder of me, which I wouldn't have arrived at naturally, because I'm a type of person, type of player that whenever I play a game for the first time, I always try to avoid conflict as much as I can. So I specifically didn't want to kill anyone, but I guess killing the CEO was required for this particular ending. What else? I don't know. As I said, I'm really tired, so I think if I think about anything else later on, I will add it in the written description in the pinned comment below. For now, I will just let the credits play out of my respect for the developers, and I guess that's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.